Hey everybody, Sean from Movie Assault here, and it's time once again for another movie review. This time around, it is Hacksaw Ridge. This is the movie that you voted for me to watch this Sunday and review for you, and here it is. And this is a 2016 film directed by Mel Gibson, starring Andrew Garfield, Sam Worthington, Teresa Palmer, Hugo Weaving, Luke Bracey, and Vince Vaughn, of all people, is in this film. And this is the back of the 4K. And so this review may sound like I don't like the movie, and I want to say up front that I really enjoyed the movie. There's three components to this review. There's going to be my review of the movie. There's going to be my sort of problem with the message of the movie and how it's delivered, and then sort of my overall feelings about Desmond Doss. And it may sound like that all bleeds into a bad review of the movie. First and foremost, I loved the movie. I thought it was fantastic. And so you may think, well, why do you have to talk about the other stuff? It's just because this is a very contradictory movie. And so we'll get to the review, we'll get to the contradictory stuff, and we'll get to the whole thing. So I don't want to make this too long, too preachy, to whatever it's going to be, but it's just I had some problems while watching this movie, but they didn't affect my enjoyment of the movie. So let me get that out of the way. This is, of course, the story of Desmond Doss, who was a conscientious objector in World War II. He didn't pick up a weapon, didn't fire any shots. He served as a medic, and he saved 75 soldiers during the Battle of Okinawa. He was I think he was the first conscientious objector to win the Congressional Medal of Honor. Got it pinned on him from Harry Truman. That's not spoiling anything. That's just historical fact. That, you know, it's a true story. That's what this movie is about. So if you didn't know that, sorry. It's directed by Mel Gibson, which is problematic for some, not problematic for me in terms of the review of the movie, but I'll get to him in a second. So what I liked about this movie is the story. Desmond Doss, definitely a true American hero. What he did is fantastic. Andrew Garfield's portrayal of him was deserving of an Academy Award nomination. He did not win. He lost to Casey Affleck for Manchester by the Sea, I believe, which I haven't seen, so I can't compare the performances, so I can't tell you whether Casey Affleck deserved to win over Andrew Garfield or not, but Andrew Garfield delivered an amazing performance. Hugo Weaving delivers an amazing performance. He's not in it for a whole hell of a lot, but he's in it enough to show that he's more than just a goofy, gimmicky actor that's in things like The Matrix and Captain America, the First Avenger, and somebody to slather makeup or computer graphics on his face. He delivers a really good, effective performance of somebody with PTSD and alcohol problems who really doesn't want his sons to join the army because he's lost his friends in World War I. And his performance is very multi-layered. I also have to mention Sam Worthington in this. He was unrecognizable to me. I don't know what it is about him. He sort of just blends in. And I didn't even know who he was until I happened to look at IMDb and go, oh, that's Sam Worthington playing Captain Glover, who is one of the people that Desmond Doss has some problems with in basic training. He gives a great performance. Vince Vaughn delivers an amazing performance as Sergeant Howell. Again, Vaughn is showing that he can do something other than comedy, especially when he's half-assing it in comedy that he doesn't really seem to care about. He's really surprising in this film. So Vince Vaughn needs to make more movies where he's doing things he is putting his heart and soul into, because he's really good in this as the sergeant. But it is the story of Desmond Doss that propels this movie from point A to point B and really makes it worth your while to sit for 2 hours and 20 minutes and watch and take it all in. There's a lot of action sequences and violence and war violence that's probably going to be pretty intense for some people. Sitting through that might be hard. And knowing that the director is Mel Gibson, he kind of likes his slow motion bloody violence. If you saw Passion of the Christ, you know that's the case. But here, and this is where I'm going to start to delve into my contradictory stuff. But anyway, before I get to that, I loved the movie. All right, we have that straight. So the movie's message is that Desmond Doss is a conscientious objector. He has this conviction that he doesn't want to pick up a weapon, and you learn how why he doesn't want to pick up a weapon and why he doesn't want to kill anybody during war, even though war is murder out of necessity, which is told to him by various characters in the film. But the movie and the message it's trying to deliver seem to be at counterpoints, because Desmond Doss, the character, is very much about his convictions and very much about not wanting to hurt anybody or kill anybody, and refuses to even touch a rifle. But the movie itself has these slow motion headshots and flaming bodies and some blatant anti-Japanese imagery and representations, and it's sort of contradictory. Even though Desmond Doss, the character, seems to care for the Japanese soldiers almost as much as he cares for the American soldiers, he patches them up as well. The movie itself seems to treat the Japanese people as animals and even refers to them as animals. So it's a little off-putting. It's a little strange, and I'm guessing that comes from Gibson. I don't know. And I was a little confused by that, because you've got the subject of your movie believes one thing, but your movie's telling another thing, or presenting it in a different light. And I kind of had problems with that. It was kind of contradictory. If you just treat this as, oh, it's a war movie, and of course he's in a war, and of course this would happen, and like you should, it's not a problem. But if you're just thinking about it, I think somebody said, Truffaut said that it's impossible to make an anti-war movie, a war movie, an anti-war movie, or something to that effect. I'm horribly ruining it and paraphrasing it, because by making a war movie, you glorify the violence, and it's automatically not a war movie, or not an anti-war movie, something to that effect. I really screwed that up. I'll put the actual quote on screen so you can get the idea of what I'm trying to say. Or what he said, or what I'm trying to convey to you. But in this is the case of that. This is an anti-war, anti-murder, stick to your beliefs movie, but yet it shows how silly war is, but yet kind of glorifies it anyway. So I had a problem with that. Not the movie, because again, I know World War II happened. I know this guy went into battle. I know he saved 75 people. That's not what I have a problem with. It's just the way the war, the action is presented in this film, in sort of a glorifying, sort of not titillating, but sort of glorification of war, or the slow motion parts of it, the cool action scenes and the blood and everything. If you're watching a horror movie, you see a kill, you go, oh, that's a good kill. That would be kind of out of place in an anti-murder movie. And that's kind of what's happening here. I'm probably not making this point very well. But then there's the other part of me that still struggles with the fact that Desmond Doss himself, again, I don't have a problem with the guy, he's a hero, 100%, but he wanted to join the war. The whole point of war is getting back at somebody. In this case, he wanted to join the war against the Japanese because they attacked Pearl Harbor. So he wants to join the war. He wants to join the army. He wants to serve because he can't sit at home and do nothing. But he can't fight, so he wants to help. He wants to help put people together. I understand that too. That's totally fine. But then the movie celebrates people getting blown to bits. I guess there's a more a more concise way of putting it. Doss wants to put people together. Gibson wants to blow people apart. So, And I think that's what sends sort of a mixed message. But the movie itself, if you just take it and you don't read into it and you're just like, okay, it's a movie about a guy who went to World War II and helped people and did an amazing thing, it's fantastic. If you don't read into it, you don't think about it, it's great. But if you think about it too much and too long, it becomes a little problematic. At least it did for me. And maybe I think too much about stuff, and maybe that's my own problem. But this is my review, and this is what you came to watch, so this is what you're getting. So I liked the movie, and then I have problems with some of the baggage of after the movie. So there's not so much problems with the movie itself. Like the action scenes are amazing. The way they're put together are amazing, and a little repetitive. You see the same type of action over and over again. I don't know how many times you can watch bodies burn in slow motion, but they're really well put together. It's just that they seem a little excessive for an anti-war movie. So, can you tell I struggled with this one a little bit? But I liked the movie overall, and I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I have not struggled with liking a movie in quite a while. I liked it. I've got issues with some of it. Maybe it's Mel Gibson, and I don't want to say it's Mel Gibson, but I don't know. I don't know how much of this is Mel Gibson's fault and how much of it is the fact that the subject matter is just odd. You've got somebody who's a conscientious objector going to war, and then they make a war movie about it. So maybe this is a story that would be better served to me by watching a documentary, and I would enjoy that more. I don't know, but I enjoyed the movie, so I don't know. 8 out of 10, watch it, make up your mind. But definitely do see it. I don't want to undercut the fact that Andrew Garfield is fantastic in it. Hugo Weaving is fantastic in it. Vince Vaughn is fantastic in it. Sam Worthington is unrecognizable but great in it. And I have to say it, the direction from Mel Gibson is really good. So the action scenes, as problematic as they are really good. So I can't fault it for what it is. It's just what it is weird. So there you go. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, as always, you've made it to the end of the video, so I thank you for your attention span. And this was a confusing one. This was a tough one, but I did like the movie, so thank you for picking it for me. And I've got another poll up, so you can pick up. You can vote on next Sunday's movie right now. And I've got, I think, Cutthroat Island and I don't remember what I have. I know Cutthroat Island is one of them, because I picked up a cheap steelbook of that in 4K, but I haven't seen it yet. So I know I threw that in there, but I forget the other two. So anyway, help me pick next week's movie like you did this one, and I appreciate it, and I'm having a lot of fun doing these, even though sometimes it's hard to figure out what the hell I'm trying to say. So, as always, thank you very much, and if you've subscribed recently, I really appreciate it, and if you've been around for a while, I really appreciate that as well, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.